Hi guys, welcome back. So this is the final CAD week for CAD example or examples that they're going to give us for just before our test. So this is week 6. They have given us as well test A and B, so I will make separate videos on that. But for now, for this week, we need to create a valve and a valve handle, and then we are given the clip groove, so that you can get from STEMlearn, and then we need to do a normal assembly and a drawing for the assembly as well. I'm gonna create the valve body, and then we can create the valve handle, and then we can do the assembly. So this is a square that is 25 by 25. So let's just constrain the centers. Okay, this is 25, that's 25, and then that distance will also be 25, the extrusion distance, and 25. Okay, now that we have our cube, we can go ahead and do our circles on either side. So that was 25, so that should be 30 on either side. That will be 15. Okay, so you can create a new sketch on the surface. A circle, the diameter was 20. Okay, and then we can extrude this as 15. So just before I carry on, you could also create like this circle, and for the extrusion you could extrude it. For example, the total distance was 55. So if you were creating something from the center, you would basically, let's just add, that would be 25, let's just say for example 65 in both directions. So you can see, if you do that, then you'll have something that obviously here you need to take into account that this is your midpoint, not the center of the square or of the cube rather. So you can calculate, if you want to do something like that, you can calculate how much the distance would be here and then how much on that side. So you could do something like this, and the top could be 15, and then the bottom is just 15 plus the cube is 25, so that would be 30, and that would be 40. So something like that. I think that's correct. It should be 35. Something like that. You could calculate something like that. I don't know why I put 35 here, that should be 40. There we go. So you can see that now it is on both sides. Instead of creating two drawings on either side, you can do something like that. So I will do that, and then we can create our hole going right through, which is diameter of 12. So new sketch, the surface, we don't have to actually create that, we can just do a hole through all. Okay, and then this is 12. Okay, so you can see it goes right through. So that's that hole. Then we can do the top. This is a diameter of 20 as well, and a depth of 22, and then you have this hole as 10, diameter 10. So we can create a new sketch on here, and then we can create a hole, a countable hole, which is this one. So this diameter is 20, the depth is 22, and this is 10. So we can create that. So if we look at the front view, that's what it will look like. Okay. So I just want to put in a plane here quickly, and then just to see that everything is correct as it should be. So, or for example, let's not do this one, let's rather do that plane. And then you don't have to do this, I'm just doing it so that you can see exactly. So if you look at this given section view, this looks exactly the same. That's just so that you can see. You can always do that throughout your, if you have time and you need to see that, you need to see like features inside, are they correct, then just create a new plane, like just go to origin and click on any of the planes that you want to see, and then you just click new, a new sketch on that plane, and then you just come down here and click on slice. So it will cut everything in front of you and it will only show everything behind the plane. So that is a good thing if you need to see if you need to see things in the object that you're creating. So just delete that. Okay. Now that the valve body is created, we need to still put in the chamfer, which is 1 millimeter chamfer. The chamfer is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's only on those surfaces. Okay, so it's here, here, there, 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 and there. Okay, there we go. So that is the valve body created. Let me just save this. Week 6. Okay, that's done. And then we need to create this valve handle. This looks a bit more tricky because there's quite a lot going on and things like that. But when they said, okay, so the revolve feature, you could use it here. It is a little bit trickier because if now you revolve this, you would have to draw a square here. Like here, you'd have to draw a square and then you'd revolve it 360. So this is a bit more difficult to do the revolve and tangent features. Here, you can actually, if you look at the top view, you could do a revolve like this, in this way. You could do something like draw half of this and then revolve it around. You are given, like, you'd have to basically do your own, like, think about how you would go ahead and do something like this in the exam. So for us, let's create a new thing. And then, okay, so I just went in and put in some values here, so that it's easier for us to do the revolve feature. So if we have a look at this, let me just actually highlight the part that we're gonna do a revolve around. So it would be this part here. Okay, that's the part that we're going to revolve. So if we look at this, instead of taking this entire distance, we're only going to take half of these distances, right? And we can then do a revolve feature. So for example, they tell us that this diameter, which is this entire length over here, is 25. So we'll just take half, which is 12.5. This distance over here we know is 3 because 22 minus 5. They tell us that this entire length is 8, so this should be 4. That should be 4. This distance over here is 2, and this entire length over here, as they tell us here, is 20, so this should be 10. That should be 10. So now we can do a revolve feature. We just create like the front view and then revolve it around this axis like that. So that's what we're gonna do. So we go here and then we can start with our rectangles. I keep calling this a triangle. So let's start. This should be 12.5 and this should be thickness of 3. Yeah, so that should be 3. And then the next one is 10 by 22. So from here we can do this is 22 and this is 10. Okay, and then we have 25, and this would be, what is it? What do you say this was? This was also 10. The diameter is 10, so this should be 5. This distance over here should be 5. So we have 25 from this point again. This should be 25, and this over here should be 5, like that. You can go ahead and just trim up things that you're not using so you can see the picture more clearly. Let's just leave that in for now. Okay, let me just put in that there so it's more clear. Okay, then we have this distance over here, which would be 28, right? Because of 25 plus 3, so 28, and this would be 4, right? So 28 by 4. And this would be 4. Then you can just trim this up. And then we have this is 30 by what is this again? This is 30 by 10, so 30 by 5. So from here and this should be 5. Okay, now here we can just add in a line, so extend this out to that, and then we can just trim this part out. So there we have our entire thing. We have this entire half of this piece, so we can revolve this, actually revolve that and this piece as well. The axis would be this axis, and there you have the feature evolved. Okay, so you can see that this is now part of your drawing revolved. We can go ahead and do the work plane. So we're talking about the tangent work plane. So we can do that here. It's a tangent to this side, and we need a diameter of 12 through for the hole. So before we do that, because we need a reference point to make that plane a tangent, I'm going to go ahead and do this piece, this handlebar over here. We can, if you rotate this object up, we can see we can create something like this with it, which is this a thickness of 4 and a length of 35. So if we do that, we create a new sketch on here, and then we can just do something like this. Let's just make sure that this is in line with that, and then we can dimension this. So this is 35 and this is 4, right? So now that we have that, we can extrude this a distance. They give us that the diameter here is 12, so it would be a height of 12 or a distance of 12. So if you look at the front view, that's something, you'd have something like that. On this plane, if we go ahead and do a new sketch on here and then just project geometry on this, we can do something like this. Right. This is you'll bring back knowledge that you've learned on in the past weeks. You can apply it to this drawing and so on. Let's do this. So let's centralize the circle. Let us make this a tangent to this edge, and then we can dimension this as 12. Perfect. All we can do now is we can make a line. This, why is it doing this? Yes. You would put this line at the center of your rectangle, so that is at the center, and then you can just mirror this. So mirror this, cross this line, and then you can just extrude or cut all these pieces out. So that one, this one, and that one, and if you cut all of this, right, through all, then you're left with the handle itself. Now for the work plane, if we rotate this, okay, so actually what we should do is, before we do, well, okay, no, that's fine. I thought it was just a full cylinder, full circle on the side. We can create a tangent work plane. So work plane, tangent to surface. So from there, okay, so let's just do this. There we go. So that should be a tangent now. There, just like that. And then we can create our hole. Let's just see here. It's a distance of 12.5 from there, and diameter 12. Okay, so let's just do project geometry on this and on that. Let's place a point at the center. This is a distance of 12 from here to there, should be 12.5 or 12. Let me just check that up. Should be 12.5. Then we can create our hole of diameter 12. It's a normal hole, straight through, and there you have the entire feature created. So okay, you still have the chamfer, which is on this edge over here and on that edge over there, which is 1 by 45. So we can hide this work plane now, and if we go down there, we can do the chamfer. This is 1 by 45, so on this edge, and I think it's on this edge. No, that doesn't look right. Let me just make sure it's on this edge and that edge over there. Okay, so chamfer one, it's on this edge and this edge over here, and that is the valve handle created. We also need to add in the fillet that's over here, so that is a radius of 2. So if we go here, we can just add in fillet 2, it's on there. Yeah, it's just on either side. Yeah, that looks right. That's right. Okay, there we go. And that is your entire valve handle created.